Welcome back to Retro Wednesday. Time to Hanger. This is Mike, and today we'll talk to you about the vintage Schaper 1980s Filmation Ghostbusters bone troller, and it's got Primeval in it. It's a pretty awesome playset, and yes, it's an organ. And no, this organ is not your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, but it's one that's played in the church, but used for evil. Now, I was kind of inspired by Mr. Allen's World of Toys. Did a great video, showcased his, and I've been wanting to go over mine since I finally completed over years of finding parts to complete this bad boy. But anyway, we're going to get into looking at this thing, taking a look at it, and huge shout outs to people that have inspired me. Hopefully I inspire some people to make some videos too of retro toys that are kind of uncommon. This is very uncommon. This is in super ultra rare territory, which is why we're going to have a lot of fun this Retro Wednesday. Coming up. Alright, so first of all, we're going to look this thing up and down. It's quite tall. This figure, and I should have measured it, it's like 7 inches tall almost. And it is a pretty good sized figure of Primeval that's in this. And this is his whole little attachment. Now, I'm not going to do, like with vehicles, I actually do a lightning round. This could probably use a lightning round of all the features that it does and performs, but it is really, really awesome. Really, really cool. And again, like I've said, it's really hard to believe they made this, as simplistic as it is. Once you get one in hand, you put it together, you're like, wow, this thing is pretty simplistic. That is a slide flute. We'll get to that. I'm not going to play it. No, I'm not putting my mouth on that thing, but that's also what she said. And then sliding this around, Mysteria was saying that to Primeval about the slide flute. Let's get everything straight. Straight? Is it all straight? All right, let's get a look at this thing. All right, so it comes in a bunch of different parts and pieces you have to assemble. You have this purple base, which is the giant base. Then you build these, I guess you could call them bone side pieces. And then you attach these chomping teeth. So it's got chomping teeth that chomp. Okay, come on. Oh, lift it up for the chomping measure. Now, I've attached some rubber bands, which I felt were almost exactly like the ones I saw in pictures, and they worked. I don't know if I attached them correctly, but the feature of chomping... Oh, you got my finger. It works, but they pop off. It's not... I don't think it's a great feature, but it works barely, so it's there. Then we get into this. Now, this whole section here lifts out, so that will be the last part. No, yeah, some of the last part we're going to get into. Then we look at this. Now, we have these side pieces that come out. So coming to the back here, you move this, and they will slide out. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to bring it around. So one of the things, when people show stuff, but they don't show how the sausage is made and how it works, it does kind of bother me. So that's why I'm showing that. And here they are popping out. Kind of hard to see. Now, one of the things on mine, though, when you reset them, they're bent. So I just kind of reset them myself. Go right back in there. And we've got these are part of the organ, but with this is part of the organ connected with that. And that is how that works. Pretty good stuff. Back here on the back, we got like an insect trying to get in, and Primeval does not like insects, so Bugman of Secta is going to get kicked to the curb with the quintessential 1980s. Every place that had a trapdoor, and it works, and he didn't break anything, so that's fine. So this is something that is really super ultra fragile. It took me a while to get a trapdoor and this mechanism, so it is what it is. Now we're on the back, so let's pull this slide flute out, which if you didn't have this, which I did not have for years and years and years, like 3-4 years, finally I got one, but I had this thing to clips to it, and you can pull it off, and it's just like, doesn't really do anything, but it's a skull with bat wings or something along those lines. And then there's a flute. Now you play it, and it goes. Now you can get slide flutes off of Amazon. They will not match this color scheme, and they probably won't fit. I actually have 2 or 3 different options in my cart that I was going to buy. Finally got this for, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars it cost to get this, but it was not cheap. So I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't cheap, and it doesn't like to fit. Now it's time to get to the main party trick, which I actually think is the coolest part about this. So he's playing his organ, he's doing all kinds of fun stuff, and then he's going to fly out of here. And this whole section removes and flies out, and don't get hung up on the teeth that will pop out. Make sure they're still working. But then you have this whole giant back frame, which is still the organ and it's all that kind of stuff in there. But then you have this piece that floats around, which is in itself kind of a challenge to get working in good condition. I see them yellowed all the time. Okay, see them yellowed 2 or 3 times a year because they don't pop up very much. This was such a pain in the butt to collect this thing. But anyway, let's pop his hands off the handles. Get into looking at this. So there's a sticker, which mine is peeling off. I probably need to upgrade that thing a bit. Now, it's kind of cool. This purple is actually molded in purple and cast in purple and popped in place. So it's not painted, so there's no paint wear, and that's smart. Like, you're not going to have paint wear on this and this, but the white does yellow. So if it's yellowed, you could peroxide it, but peroxiding stuff, it'll come back in a few years. I've done that with stormtroopers and they're back. It is what it is. It just is. There's a battery cover here. There's a cover of the electronics and all that kind of stuff. But then we get into the main party trick where you close this pedal. You push the pedal and it turns on this light. Now I'm not sure if the camera is even going to pick it up. I see it, but I don't see the camera showing it well. I want to show it anyway. Even if the camera doesn't get it, I don't care. I get it. Oh, come on. All right, got that back in there. We're gonna rotate this piece here, right here, and it projects. There's Mysteria, and I don't know if it's gonna show it. Yeah, I think you see it. Oh yeah, that's a good angle. It's gonna rotate, and we're gonna see Fib Face. Probably hard to see. And then we're going to see, is he the Haunter? The Hunter? Trying to get the best angle on it. I won't really know how well this works out till editing. That's how kind of this questionable stuff goes. And this is Scare Straight. Is that what his name is? The skeleton dude. Looks really good in person. On the camera, it looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. And there's the wolf dude. Fang something? I forgot. Actually, I forgot. It's really sad that I forgot that. But, you know, it is what it is. Such a great feature that it has. And then there's a variant. Well, there's a lot of variants, actually. Mike, how does something so rare have a variant? Well, I don't know. I absolutely do not know. But I know that I originally had this foot pedal and I had to buy another one to make the thing activate. Now, I got in there with a screwdriver and tapped it together and made it work. My 1 semester of electronics paid off in the vocational school, but with that, there's a short and a long one. I do believe that means that the electronics are different in the one that uses the short one rather than the long one. I mean, I have no control over Schaper and their R&D. I'm just showing, I guess 40 years later, of trying to backtrack and figure out what the heck they did with this thing. So the long one works on all of them. The short one works on none of the ones I've owned. Now we get into these foot pegs, kind of like G.I. Joe does, kind of like, I guess Star Wars did it in a way, and other toy lines have done it in the past, but you give him his foot pegs. Now this is really important because if he's going to be flying around, you don't want him holding on just by the handles. You want him plugged in place, and then you put the handles in his hands. And all this sounds really scary, and all this sounds, well, when you, I paid $375 for this playset, and then I bought parts, probably another couple hundred of parts, just over years to get it completed. So with that, I don't know what I've got into it, but at the same time, I don't want to break anything. So and also for a few years there, it seemed like these were showing up, you know, regularly, like 3 times a year. Now they don't show up almost ever. Very, very hard to get one of these nowadays. But with that, I don't want to spend any more money on these. So it is what it is. If it breaks, I'm just going to suck it up. Deal with it. So I could not think of anything better to compare it to than the G.I. Joe well. No, this is Critical Drinker. This is not blue-haired, and it's not Stuck on Land. This well from G.I. Joe is my favorite, absolute favorite vehicle that has ever been made in the G.I. Joe line. And I've got a bunch of extra stuff stored in there, so it's the hood's popped up. I'm having too much fun with it, I guess, every day. It's like every day, bro. It's taller, but not wider, but I really feel like it doesn't quite take up much space or land mass, or it floats, so pool mass as the G.I. Joe well. So this is my look at the vintage Schaper bone troller for Filmation Ghostbusters. And what I gotta say about it, I say that I absolutely love that I have this. I feel honored that I came across it when I did, for the price that I did, and the parts over the years, to finally get it complete. Maybe it's not 100% original because the rubber bands aren't original. I guess that wears out. The rubber wears out over time. I mean, at least it didn't break. So with that, I know what you think about this. Do you like the Schaper Filmation Ghostbusters series? Should I pull the ghost buggy out just for fun? Alright, I guess you pulled my leg. Like and subscribe to Dare Out.